Hi, friends. It's Cheryl from Tutoring with Cheryl. And today's topic is tutoring versus intervention versus homework help. Which one is the best one for your child? Are they the same or are they different? So, I'm just going to take a couple minutes of your time to talk to you about this very timely topic because there's a lot of parents that are looking for help for their children, and sometimes they don't know the difference. And when they hire a tutor, they don't always know what questions to ask. So, the big question is what's the difference and why does it matter? So the big picture is that all three, the tutoring, the intervention, and the homework help, they're all going to help your child. They will help, but they serve different purposes. And the one thing I want to let all of my viewers know is that at any point that I'm working with your child, I actually might be doing all three. So even though I call my business Tutoring with Cheryl, I actually end up serving all three purposes many times with the majority of the students that I work with. Here's the big thing that you want to look out for. If you choose the wrong type of services for your child, it's going to slow their progression and probably increase their frustration. And so we want to make sure that we find the right fit support for your child that's going to lead to confidence, increased capability, and lots of success. So they become independent. We don't want them to be dependent on somebody their entire life. We want them to grow in their confidence. So what is homework help? Well, basically, they show up to the tutoring session and they have this homework, and they simply need help answering questions, explaining the directions, and helping them finish the assignments on time. And there are literally people you can hire that will help you just do homework help. Okay. And if your child literally needs help with homework assignments, you need to look for a tutor who will do that. But what that type of tutoring does not do is it is not going to teach missing skills. It's not going to fix learning gaps, and it's not going to change long-term academic struggles. So students who understand the material, but they just need help with organization, time management, and occasional clarification, that is the perfect thing. So homework help supports the assignment, but it does not support the underlying learning. There's just not enough time because you're trying to complete the assignment. Okay. So that was the first thing, homework. The second thing is tutoring. So what it is it is a personalized instruction meant to strengthen skills. And the tutor should be able to adjust to how a child learns. Now that comes with working with them over a period of multiple sessions, but once they have it, they can help your child go at their own pace. They can review strategies for reading, writing, math, science, whatever it is, the coursework that they're struggling with, they can get that help. And they can fill in small gaps before they get to the big ones, because they can recognize that there's a big gap and we just need to like figure out what are those steps that get you there. And so what does that do? It builds confidence, it reinforces classroom learning, and it helps students practice and apply skills. So, who is that one for? Tutoring is for students who are slightly behind, struggling with specific subjects, and they need extra practice or confidence. Tutoring supports learning alongside the classroom. And what's really nice is if the tutor can speak to the teacher, or the parents can convey what the teacher is saying, or the student can convey what the teacher is, how the teacher is giving instruction, that's super, super beneficial. But sometimes we don't get that information when we're trying to tutor, which then leads to intervention, which is the third thing. And remember, I told you I do all three, and I can do all three because I have classroom experience, 32 years of it, that I've brought into my own private business. Intervention is targeted, research-based instruction for significant learning gaps. And honestly, 90% of the kids I work with have significant learning gaps. It is designed to address why the child is struggling. So once we figure out why they're struggling, then we can accommodate the instruction to fit the why. So we get structured lessons. It's skill by skill instruction. It's not everything all at once. There's progress monitoring going on. So it's either looking back at notes off of lessons, or giving short assessments to see progress. And it's often aligned to their IEP or their RTI goals. Okay. So what it does is it remediates foundational weaknesses. It teaches missing building blocks, big blocks of information, and it creates real lasting change. And so the students who really benefit from that are students who are significantly behind. They might have a learning disability like dyslexia, a language processing issue, ADHD, some other sort of learning disability, and they're just not making progress just by, taking one skill and just looking at the one skill. So intervention teaches what was never fully learned in the first place. So the quick comparison on this one more time is homework help is going to help me finish this, tutoring is going to help me understand this, and intervention is going to help me learn what I'm missing. And what I want you to know is that a struggling reader doesn't need more homework help. They need instruction. And without the right support, kids are going to avoid their schoolwork, they're going to lose confidence, and they're going to believe that they are not smart. So the right support helps kids say, oh, I get it now. And that's exactly what I offer here at Tutoring with Sheryl. For more information about Tutoring with Sheryl, make sure that you look at the link in the description and come on over to Tutoring with Sheryl and use the contact page to get your child up for services today.